Good evening and welcome to the topic of political parties, class 10 political science. So, political parties are a group of people who are organized with an ideology which is similar on the party guidelines and on the fulfillment of that agenda. They recruit members from every nook and corner of the country. They may belong to any caste, any creed, any region, any ideology. And these political parties play a very, very important role in shaping the public opinion. There are around 750 political parties in our country. Of them, the most prominent ones which hold the power and which do the welfare activities for the people by getting elected time and again for more than 50 years. Some of the parties are existing. So here we have the list of national parties: Bharatiya Janata Party, Indian National Congress, Bahujana Samaj Party, Nationalistic Congress Party, Communist Party of India, Communist Party of India, Marxist, All India Trinamool Congress. These are some symbols of the state parties which have established themselves by fulfilling the objectives of the people and living up to their expectations and aspirations. So, a political party is a group of people who come together to contest elections and hold power in the government. They agree on some policies and programs for the society with a view to promote and the collective good of the people. This promote, when we say, they are trying to develop the entire society as a whole. The parties reflect on the fundamental political divisions in a society. Political parties are about a part of the society and thus involve partisanship, that is, belongingness to the party. Thus, a party is known by which part it stands for, which policies it supports for, and whose interests it upholds. So, it may be for the weaker sections, it may be for the working class communist ideology, it may be for secular principles, it may be for anything. Ultimately, it is the good of the people, it is the people's power, people's mandate. So, a political party comprises of three components: the leaders, the active members, and the followers. These political parties, they contest elections, select the candidates, puts up the policies. They make a decisive role in the making of the laws. They form and run the government, and it checks the government and the policies of the government. It shapes the public opinion, provides the access to the government, and it gives so many informations on the welfare schemes. The government machinery is provided to the people on welfare schemes. So once they are getting elected, their job is to put up such kind of policies which are developmental for the government. They should take a decisive role in making the laws which are applicable to the entire nation. When they form and run the government, they should have the majority. When no single party is getting the majority, two or more parties come together, form the union, which is called as coalition. Such kind of coalitions which are led by Congress are called as United Progressive Alliance, and which is led by BJP is called as National Democratic Alliance. It checks the government and the policies of the government, and it shapes the public opinion. Their work is appreciated by the people. The people give their feedback. Now the social media plays a very important role, and it provides the access of the government machinery. Once they are elected, they don't say goodbye to the people. They give the government machinery and the policies applicable to the people, accessible to the people for the welfare of the people. How many parties should we have? Should we have one party, two parties, or a multi-party system? We studied about China and the Communist Party dominance in China. No party can offer its presidential candidate, and the presidential candidate is promoted by the Chinese Communist Party. When one single party is ruling, how the dominance goes on, we studied already in 9th class. We can see the example of USA and UK by having a multi-party Republican and Democratic Party, and Labour Party and Conservative Party. Yes, so two parties, there is no much difference. Both the policies and the programs and the agenda is very much similar. There is no meaningful choice for the people. The policies are same and alike. So our country is a multi-party country, which is hailing from different sections, different cultural backgrounds, different kinds of people having different expectations. So a multi-party system, several parties, they come together, they contest elections, and two or more parties, they are now, if they don't get the required mandate to form the government, two or more parties come together, they form the coalition. So classification of parties on the basis of single party, bi-party, and multi-party. A single party is allowed to control and run the government. The electoral system does not permit free competition for power. Example, China. We just studied about the Chinese Communist Party and its influence. Under the bi-party, we have discussed just now about USA, UK, the Labour Party and the Conservative Party in Britain, the Democratic Party and the Republican Party in USA. So the multi-party system, two or more parties, they come together in alliance, they form the government. Now no single party is getting majority. Otherwise, for several years, Congress ruled in our country, came up with so many developmental aspects. Even the BJP, even the Janata Dal, so many other parties which came to power, they expressed their mandate in majority and they formed the government. Roles and functions of the political parties. If we discuss the role of the political party, it is very, very important. Without political parties, we cannot imagine the government to be formed and run. They nominate the candidates, they campaign, move from place to place, giving the party ideology to the people. They inform the citizens about their vision and outlook, what they want to do once they are elected. Linking the levels of the government from the grassroots level to the highest level, they link the government. They act as a watchdog, because after getting power, they sit in the parliament and their job is not over. They minutely scrutinize the working of the government, whether they are functioning according to the constitutional principles or not. The functions of the political party are: it recruits and nominates the candidates, educates the electorate about the campaign issues. We are the electorate, we the people. Every 5 years, the electorate is updated, the list of voters. All those who are above 18 years are included in it. And it campaigns and tells about the issues. It finds out from the people what are all the different kinds of issues, and it tries to address those issues once it is getting elected. It helps the candidates to win the elections and monitors the actions of the office holders so that they don't misuse the power. The national party and regional party. What are the basic differences between these two? Let us now see. A national party is one that secures at least 6% of the total valid votes in the Lok Sabha elections or the assembly elections in 4 states and wins at least 4 seats in the Lok Sabha. It is called and it is recognized as a national party. A regional party is one that secures at least 6% of the total votes in an election to the legislative assembly of a state and wins at least 2 seats in is recognized as a regional party or a state party. The national parties will have influence in more than 3 states. At least 4 states it should be recognized. The regional parties will have influence in less than 3 states. These parties raise the issues of national concern. The national parties raise the issues of the national concern. Example, INC, BJP, BSP, CPI, CPM, NCP. These parties, the regional parties, they raise issues of regional importance. For example, Samajwadi Party, Samata Party, Rashtriya Janata Dal, yes, DMK, Dravida Munnetra Kazakam, All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazakam. So, the aspects which are of regional importance, they focus first on that issues, then they try to focus on the other aspects which are having a broader outlook. What are the challenges for the political parties? Yes, the political party has to confront with these challenges. Basic challenges are lack of internal democracy. Why do we say lack of internal democracy? In lack of internal democracy, they don't maintain a register and they don't write the list of candidates. And the leader is not appointed with the consent of the people. I mean the members. The members are not informed when the meetings are held, how the meetings are held. The members are not informed how the party funds are there and how it is going to be utilized. Total transparency has to exist. They meet very few times. This internal democracy has to exist. Then they can do justice for the broader democracy at the national level for each and every citizen of the country. Dynastic succession. It is a power play. The power is rotating within the same family. Grandfather to power is transferred to father, then to the daughter, then to the son. I don't have to give an example. We know the history of Indian politics. We don't want to have this power in the hands of one single family. There is no hereditary king or queen. It is a republic where every single citizen of the country has a role, has a right to contest for the elections and prove that he can rule the country. The growing role of money and muscle power. Those who are rich and prosperous, they promote these political parties. They offer huge sums. They also give men of physical fitness to give protection to the party. Do we need able-bodied men, or do we need intellectual minds to give the developmental aspects for the country? We need to introspect. Do not seem to offer meaningful choice. You see a coalition of the winning party and you see those who are sitting in the opposition party. The agenda of both the parties is almost alike. Both are focusing on all the developmental issues. The promises made by the both are seen. There is no distinct ideology which promotes to develop any particular section of the community or any particular task which is affecting the country. It's not focusing on that. Lack of meaningful choice. Recently, we see many of the members who are elected to this huge building of law making, the parliament. Once they are elected, they are so selfish that they jump from one party to another, which is very, very wrong, which is selfish. This selfish motive of the politicians, those who are getting elected to the parliament, that should be stopped. And the government has come up with the anti-defection law, which stops everyone who is changing their party after being elected. They are recruited from the party ideology and they should live up to the party ideology. The anti-defection law came into being with the inclusion of the 10th schedule in the Constitution in 1985 through the 52nd Amendment Act. According to the law, if a member of the parliament or state legislature gives up his membership of a political party or votes or abstains from a vote contrary to the directions of his party, he can be disqualified. Loyalty to the party is very, very important. Those who cannot be loyal to the party, how can we expect that they are going to be loyal to the nation? In 1985 Act, it allowed these members to be elected members of a party to merge with another party without being disqualified. Meaning, the amendment in 2003, the minimum number required for a merger is 2/3 of the elected members of a party. The law has been criticized for impinging on the rights of elected representatives to take a position different from their parties. The law has not been very effective in curbing defection. Still, people are moving from one party to another. So where is the loyalty? They need to question and introspect their loyalty to the party. So how can we reform the political parties? We can reform the political parties by following this strategy. Number one, the MLAs and MPs should not defect. They should not change the party after being elected. They should be loyal from the time they join to the party till the time they leave, they breathe their last. Reduction of influence of money and muscle power. Such people who are businessmen and those who are well-to-do sections of the society, they cannot influence the decision making of the party. The money and muscle power influence should be reduced. The parties should hold their organizational elections. A file has to be maintained with the register of the people, those who are members, active members, followers, everyone. And income tax returns have to be submitted. How much is the party fund? How much is utilized and what is the saving? These returns have to be submitted. And elections are to be held. They cannot pass on the membership or the leadership according to the family members. No, it is not called democracy. Regulation of internal affairs of the political parties. Within the political parties, if any problems are arising, those disputes should be resolved by meeting. Organizational meetings should be held time to time, and these resolutions have to be done. Mandatory for political parties to give minimum number of tickets. Those tickets which are applicable for women should be given to women. They should encourage more and more women participation. In reserved constituency areas, they should encourage those reserved constituencies people to come and contest elections. No one can criticize politics from being outside. One should try to do his best by entering into politics. We should be vigilant and watchful citizens. State funding of elections. It is believed that the government should offer some money for the political parties to run the political parties. For minimum expenses should be given for campaigning, election funding, all those things. But do we have so much money? a question to be thought over. The budget is short. Every year the budget which is made, that is short. We never have a surplus. We always have a deficit. Our exports are very few. Our imports are less. People can petition political parties. It is the people's right. They can question the political parties. The political parties can improve if those who want to improvement and those people who want the political parties to be reformed without criticizing from outside, they should join and try to weed out the anti-social elements, take the help of the social media and bring awareness and try to be the best citizens in giving the best government of the democracy to the people, for the people, by the people, of the people. I hope political parties is clear. Thank you.